The Spinosaurus was the weird kid in the Cretaceous lunchroom, while T-Rex was the loud, popular jock stomping around and bullying smaller herbivores. Spino was the lanky, awkward art student who spent all its time by the river, finding itself. It was enormous, longer than a T-Rex, tipping the scales at a cool 7 tons. It had a snout like a crocodile, packed with conical teeth perfect for snagging slippery fish, not for crushing bone. Fossil evidence, like the sensory pits found on its skull, suggests it could detect pressure waves in the water, basically using the river as its personal Uber Eats app. And then there was the sail. Oh, that magnificent, ridiculous sail. A 7-foot-tall structure of skin and bone. Was it for display, to attract a mate, to regulate temperature? Scientists love to argue about it. Frankly, the Spinosaurus probably didn't even know. It just knew it looked fabulous. And here it is, Eoraptor. It's less tired, or as our Spinosaurus called it, the era of furry, bite-sized snacks. Having survived the end of the world, Spinoprime now faced a new challenge competition. The world was filling up with mammals. They were small, fast, and annoyingly clever. Our hero had to adapt. Over the next few million years, the lineage of Spinosaurus began to change. They got a little smaller, a little sleeker. Their legs became more powerful, better for traversing land between river systems. They were no longer the undisputed kings of the river, they were generalists. They still preferred fish, but if a clumsy hippo-like Coryphodon wandered too close to the water's edge, well, protein is protein. This was Spinosaurus's awkward teenage phase. It was trying to figure out its place in a world that no longer belonged to it. Its sail, once a proud billboard of dominance, was now more of a liability, snagging on the new, dense forests. So it, too, began to shrink, becoming less of a sail and more of a low, bony ridge. With 1 cup of Eoraptor, this tiny dino is the unassuming first ingredient. It was scrawny, walked on 2 legs, and had a worrying obsession with pointy sticks. Early humans. The first encounters were likely confusing for both parties. Imagine you're an og, out trying to spear a deer, and you see a 35-foot semi-aquatic lizard crocodile emerge from the river. You'd probably decide to become a vegetarian. For the Spinosaurus, humans were annoying. They were too small to be a decent meal, but they were noisy and unpredictable. They stole its fish from the riverbanks and threw rocks at it. This was a pivotal moment. The Spinosaurus had survived asteroids and ice ages, but now it faced a creature that fought with its brain, not just its brawn. It learned to be cautious. It became more nocturnal, hunting in the twilight hours when the strange little apes were huddled in their caves. It learned to recognize the smell of wood smoke as a sign to stay away. It became a ghost, a legend. The terrifying monster from the deep river that the elders warned the children about. The first cryptid was born. The 20th and 21st centuries, the age of concrete, steel, and Wi-Fi. The Spinosaurus, now a fully integrated urban cryptid, thrived. Why migrate when humanity's wastefulness provided a permanent buffet? Why hunt when you could just wait for a garbage barge to pass by? The species had diverged. Some remained in remote, pristine river systems like the Amazon or the Congo, retaining more of their ancestral traits. But the urban Spinos were a different breed. They were smarter, more cunning. They learned the schedules of sanitation departments. They used storm drain systems to navigate entire cities unseen. Their claws, once used for digging in mud, became tougher, able to pry open manhole covers. Their intelligence, honed by millions of years of survival, was now focused on one thing: living the easiest life possible. It was the ultimate evolutionary success story. A creature from the age of dinosaurs had successfully adapted to become a freeloader in the age of mankind. It was a ghost in the machine, a glitch in the urban matrix. a 30-foot reason to not go swimming in the canals at night. Faced with constant scrutiny, the urban Spinosaurus had to make its final, most brilliant adaptation. It had to become invisible again. Its ridge sail, which had shrunk, then become a solar panel, then become almost vestigial, began to evolve once more. Drawing on ancient genetics and new mutations spurred by its chemical-rich diet, the ridge developed chromatophores, the same pigment cells found in squid and octopus. But it took it a step further. It evolved bioluminescent photophores capable of generating light. It couldn't turn invisible like a chameleon. It did something much smarter. By precisely controlling the light patterns on its ridge and specialized scales along its body, it could mimic the ambient light of the city. It could look like the reflection of a street lamp on the water. It could mimic the pattern of neon signs, the sweep of car headlights. It was active camouflage, not for a jungle, but for the concrete jungle. The ultimate urban adaptation. The Spinosaurus didn't just hide in the city's shadows. It became the shadows. It became the light. So what is the lesson in this absurd 66 million year long story? Is it about the incredible power of evolution? The resilience of life in the face of catastrophe? Maybe. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe it's just a reminder that history is fragile. One tiny variable changes the angle of an asteroid, the location of a river, and everything is different. In our world, the Spinosaurus is a collection of bones in a museum, a fascinating puzzle for paleontologists. But in another, it's out there right now. It's the flicker of light you see from the corner of your eye as you cross a bridge at night. It's the strange, deep rumble you hear from the storm drain during a heavy rain. And that the world's most successful survivor isn't the one who is strongest or smartest. It's the one who is simply too stubborn, too weird, and too lazy to die.